This is just a disclaimer for the video you're about to watch. It might not be good quality all the way through. I've just bought myself a new camera and I'm learning all the intricacies of it and all the little nuances and everything. So if something's not in focus or the sound's not the best, please forgive me. It's a learning curve that I'm going through at the moment, and it's going to get better because the camera that I bought is a fairly decent one. And I'm just trying to step up the game. So again, don't look at the quality, look at the content, and enjoy the video. G'day all, welcome back to Built by Chris. In this episode I'm going to be making a camera stand for my new camera. I've been using a tripod for the longest time, and it's a great piece of equipment, don't get me wrong, but in a garage as small as mine, 2-car garage, it keeps getting in the way. If I want to get up against a tool or a machine, the legs get in the way, and when you open them up all the way because you want it to be stable, you don't want your camera tipping over, it just takes up a hell of a big footprint. So I jumped onto YouTube as I normally do, checked out camera stands, and the best one that I found was the one made by Jay Bates, and mine's based on the one that he made. I'm actually using it right now. It works like an absolute treat. It's got a great range of movement, even more so than the tripod used to have, and I can put it right over the top of the machinery and shoot down or wherever I'm shooting it. It's just a fantastic piece of equipment to have in the workshop now. I'm really happy I made it. So if you want to see how it all came together, you can either watch Jay Bates's video, see how he made his, or you can watch me, because mine's going to be turning out exactly the same as his. So if you want to see how it all came together, stay tuned and follow me. Okay, what I've done here is I've cut all the timber for the frame for the bottom of this camera stand. I'm going to screw all these together, and I'm going to screw it into the bucket that'll hold the bucket, but it's going to come up a little bit to allow for these wheels. These wheels are 75mm high, so I'm going to drop the bucket down into this frame so that it's sitting roughly a little bit lower, just a little bit lower than these wheels here, a little bit higher than these wheels I should say, so that the centre of gravity is a lot lower. It's not going to be not going to have a tendency to tip. That's what I'm trying to get to. So what I've got to do now is, like I said, I've cut all the pieces. I've got my wheels, so I'm just going to screw this whole assembly together, and I'm going to screw it through into the bucket, and then I'll put the wheels on, then I'll go and get ready for the next step, and that is to cut the pole for the inside of here and fill it with concrete. So let's get on and do that. Time for the battery to go out. Okay, that's one side. I got me some of these Milescraft corner pieces here. This is the 4-inch clamp square from Milescraft. Bloody brilliant they are. Ask me where I got them from. Go on. Okay, everything's nice and square. Everything's nice and flush. Let's get these drills in here. Now I'm pre-drilling these because I don't want these ends to split. I know it's just going to be workshop furniture, but you want to do a good job. Maybe if I got a shorter one, might be a bit easier. What do you reckon? Okay, I got the bucket tipped upside down. These wheels with the first base around it, these wheels tell me they've got a ride height or a finished height of 95mm. So if I drop this down to 80mm, if I drop this bucket down or this frame down that it's 80mm around, In theory, that will leave me with 15mm play, which is exactly what I want, because I want this bucket to sit low. So there we have it. So let me just put a mark here so I know where it is going to line up with. And I'm going to drill a hole straight through and put one of these screws through it. And as you can see, that's going to dig straight into the bucket, go straight through, and then that's going to stick out, which is good because then when I put the concrete in, it'll grip around that and it's not going to move. So let's get that done. Here we go, that's the first one. $80mm. Make sure it's 80mm everywhere. 80mm. I'll put one on this side, that way I can then rotate it, I think. Here we go, that's 80mm. Here we go, and I'll just put the last one on. Okay, there's all the pieces on there. So now, I'll put the wheels on. Now I've got to use a washer with these Kreg screws because the holes on these wheels are a lot bigger than the head. So I'm just going to use a washer just to make sure it doesn't slip off. That's one. That's two. And one more to go. There we have it. And it's sitting about 15mm above the ground, which is perfect. All right, let's get the pole ready, the pole in the middle and the cement. Okay, so here's my bucket and the base. Now I'm just going to measure, see how long I need to cut this post, because I don't need it to go too high. So I'm just measuring inside the bucket, and if I make this thing say 2.1 metres high, which is about there, I think that'll be big enough, long enough. All right. Okay, I've got the post in the bucket, more or less centred. Let's just knock it over a little bit here. I've got some spirit levels on here to make sure it's nice and level. Okay. Now pour in the cement. Now, one thing I forgot to show you was I put some bolts into this post so that the cement's got something to grab onto. That way the post isn't going to fall out. A little bit more cement. Make sure it's still level or plumb. Yes, it is. And we'll go get the second bag. Still plumb, which is good. Now this is 30 kilos of concrete in here at the moment. It's still clearing the floor. I'm just going to pop in the rest of it, which will make it an even 40 kilos. If I get it into the bucket. And I think that'll just about do it. Make sure it's still plumb, which it is. Okay. Now I'll leave that to go off, which is quick set, so it won't take too long, but I'm going to leave it overnight before I start doing anything with it. It's definitely plumb. Now I'm going to start on the part where I'm going to mount the camera. Okay, out of this piece here, I'm going to be making the actual mount itself, or the thing that slides up and down the pole. J-Baits used hardwood. I don't have any hardwood, so I'm going to use this this ply. I'm going to rip 3 pieces out of this that are going to wrap around the pole, so that I can adjust it up and down. And then I've got some thinner ply that I'm just going to put on the sides. That'll enclose the whole thing, and then I'll be able to slide it up and down. So best I stop talking and get on with the cutting. Then you'll see what I'm talking about. Now these pieces don't have to be that long, so I've marked it down to 250mm. I'll just run them through the saw and cut them down, and then I'll put them all together. Okay, here's all the pieces cut for this piece. There's a cut off of the post, or the pole that I'm using. This is going to go on top here. This one will go underneath, and it's going to envelop this, and then it's just going to slide in and out of here. First thing I've got to do though is I've got to put in some sort of a nut that'll tighten this down when I tighten the bolt down. Now J-Baits used a T-nut. I don't have any T-nuts, but I have these threaded inserts. And threaded inserts are way better, I reckon. But that's just my opinion. So let me go drill a hole in this, put this in, so that I can put it in here, and then nail the whole lot together. The next part of this build is the arms that the actual camera is going to be sitting on. Now again, Jay Bates used hardwood for this. I don't have any hardwood, so I'm just going to use a piece of pine. This one measures 560 mil, so that's going to be 560 mil sticking out from the carriage part of it that goes up and down the pole. So I think that's going to be more than enough. So I'm just going to rip two arms out of this, and I'm going to rip a smaller one as a handle that I can use to tighten up with. So let me set up for that, and we'll get on with this next part. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is rip off, these have got rounded edges on them, I don't want the rounded edges, so I'm just going to rip off one side and then get my two pieces out of that. Okay, so this is 35 mil, which I think is going to be it's going to be big enough. I'm just going to rip them down to 20 mil. Take 20 mil slither off there, so I think that'll be more than enough. Okay, there's the two arms, and this one is going to be the cross piece. It's going to be like this, so that when I tilt it up or down, it's always going to be, this is always going to be vertical. So let's get these ready. Okay, next thing I'm going to do here is I've got some parts marked off here, some holes, and I'm going to drill some through holes, and I've got the two pieces taped together because I want them to be exactly in the same spot. So let's get that done. Here we go. 1 and 2. Okay, let me tell you what I've gone ahead and done. I've rounded over all this so it's all nice and smooth to the touch. I made myself the mount for my camera. There's going to be a camera mount attached to this. I've got the two lengths that will be coming off here, and that this will be attached to. So let's do a little bit of assembly, and then I'll put it on the pole and I'll show you how it all works. Okay, first things first, we'll pop this one in here. Make it nice and tight. The tighter it is, the more resistance it's going to give, because there's going to be a camera sitting here and gravity is going to be working against it. Let me get this out. Sorry. So now this knob here goes through here, and this will be my adjusting knob. Now I'm probably going to have to make a long handle like Jay Bates did on this one. But I don't have my camera mount yet, so I'm just going to put all this together. Before I even put the camera on it, I've got to get the camera mount. So this is how it's going to look before it's all finished. So now I've got some screws, and I'll put through here. And I'll attach this. And I've got the second one. There we go. Now I've just got a couple of washes and nuts to put on this side. Okay, let's put this on the pole now, and I'll show you how it all works. Throw it over the top. And there it is. So if I loosen this, this will go up and down, and that'll keep it nice and flat. That's why I've got the two. So nice and flat there, and then I can tighten it up. And sort of holding it there. So like I said, I won't know how good it's going to hold until I put the camera on here. I may have to rig up the bungee cord like Jay Bates has, but to all intents and purposes, there it is, it's done. And now I can put it up as high as I want, or as low as I want. Because it sticks out, I can come right in over the top of the table saw, perhaps, or with a bandsaw, wherever I am, and I can adjust the height of this as well. So I can get down as low as I want or as high as I want. There's a lot of range of movement here, which is going to make it a lot easier than the tripod, moving the tripod around all the time. So there it is. As soon as I get the camera mount, I'll mount that, I'll put the camera on it, and I'll show you how it all works. So there you have it, one camera stand. It's a pretty easy build, to say the least. I followed Jay Bates's video, made a few little changes of my own just to make it my own. But I think it's going to work out an absolute treat in the workshop now. It's not going to take up as much space as my tripod did. And I've got so much more movement or range of movement with this thing that it's going to be a bonus. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done that. Share it amongst your friends, let them know what I'm up to, and hopefully they'll subscribe and jump on board as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Bye for now.